and the only way to be free from the agony I felt each day. There were many steps to take. I knew that. I took my time, reminding myself I needed to be patient. But today, that could all change. So much could change. I slowly exhaled. There were many opportunities, and they were all within reach. Be patient, Juliet. You cannot rush this, but you're one step closer. As I repeated those words in my head, I took in the people sitting around me. Based on the loud chatter of the restaurant, no one was paying me any mind. Repeatedly, I pulled at the smooth material of my gloves, my leg restlessly moving up and down. This wasn't an establishment I would frequent regularly. It wasn't exactly five-star dining, but I didn't want anyone I knew to spot me and question who I was dining with or why I was here. That was if he decided to arrive. "Where is he?" I muttered under my breath.
"Miss Saltwood?"
a voice asked behind me. My leg continued to nervously move underneath the table when it occurred to me that I gave the investigator my mama's maiden name. I didn't know why. It slipped out, and I supposed I thought I was protecting my identity in case this went awry. Heart racing, I turned at once and faced the middle-aged man. This had to be Mr. Waters. I'd been corresponding with him for several months, and now I could finally put a face to the name. His eyes lacked charm, and his sagging jowls did nothing for his face. What sparse brown hair he had left on his head was oiled and parted to the side. His suit was made of the finest materials, perhaps 10 years ago. His belly hung over his pants, making it impossible for him to button his jacket. His briefcase was just as worn and battered as his suit. This is what I paid so much money for? I had found an ad for his services in the daily morning news. His rates were so high that I waited until my brother, Loris, left home and took any money he had lying in his room. Then, if that wasn't enough, I made my way to Daddy's office. I needed the money more than the two of them, and it was going to a good cause. At least, I hoped so. I could only hope Mr. Waters took better care of my case than he did his own appearance. Lips pursed, I nodded and gestured to the seat across from me. "Yes, that's me. You must be Mr. Waters?"
"Yes, but please call me Michael."
I nodded. "Very well. Michael, please sit." The stench of his inexpensive aftershave permeated the space as Michael sat down. I did my best not to scrunch my nose at the unpleasant odor and to keep my focus on his briefcase that now leaned against his chair. Patience, Juliet.
"Now."
Michael linked his hands together on the table and leaned forward.
"I suppose you are eager to hear the results of my investigation."
"I've been eager since I reached out to you, you worthless ass." Shyly, I smiled at him. "Oh, of course. But I know you've been doing your job, and you're one of the best out there." Just as I expected, the compliment caused Michael's chest to puff out. I nearly rolled my eyes.
"You're too kind, Miss Saltwood. Now, shall we get started?"
He leaned down to retrieve his briefcase and stopped to look around. I nearly reached out and wrapped my hands around his throat. "Focus, man." He looked at me.
"Forgive me, I forgot myself. Have you eaten?"
I gave him another smile, this one far more forced and tighter. "I'm not hungry." Michael nodded and thankfully continued to reach for his briefcase. My eyes hungrily stared at the tattered brown leather when it hit the table. I didn't care that the waitress had come over.